All right, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. This is the brother RAWCHAA coming from the Prophets of Babylon camp that's out here in Tampa, Florida. And before we start this lesson, I want to give all honor and all glory and infinite blessings unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. And I also want to give double honors unto the apostles and bishops of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And today we're going to get into the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, the second chapter. And it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." So, right, coming to this word, this is like your agreement. The Lord's telling you, you come to serve me, prepare to go through some things. Verse 2, "Set thy heart aright," which that word heart's going into your mind. And it says, "And constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble." So constantly endure, because you're going to catch hell. The Lord's going to be jacking you up. You're going to go through troubles and tribulations. Because when you're going through these things, you're constantly going through troubles and tribulations. That means the Lord is dealing with you, because he's testing your spirit to see if you're weak or strong. And continuing on in verse 3, it says, "Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end." So, no matter how much hell you're going through, no matter how much hell you catching, you don't lose faith. You stand firm in this thing. Verse 4, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate." So when the Lord is jacking you up, you take it on cheerfully, because at the end of the day, that means the Lord is dealing with you. It's purging out the flaws that's within you. Verse 5, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." So, right, we want to be accepted in the furnace of adversity. And when gold is tried in the fire, what's happening is getting all those impurities off the gold. Example would be like when you get a piece of gold off the earth. When you first get it, it's dirty. So when you're purifying it, when you're purifying the gold, you're stripping off the dirt. And that's what the Lord is doing with us, stripping off the dirt off of us, purging out those flaws and all those old ways of us. Verse 6, "Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall." So meaning, don't apart from YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, and try to do it your own way. Like, fuck it, don't do that. Verse 8, "Ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy." So, that's why us brothers, we doing this work so we can ultimately receive, that everlasting joy and mercy. Verse 10, "Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?" Right, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, he brought great men through impossible situations. For example, Elijah, King David, etc. Verse 11, "For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction." Right, so, when those certain men, were going through those certain things, those certain situations, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI delivered them out of those impossible situations, that a normal man can't survive from. And this is the power of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. Verse 12, "Woe to fearful hearts and faint hands, and a sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he be not defended." Right, so if you're faint-hearted, you basically doubting YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. You're basically doubting you're not going to be saved, or you're not going to be delivered out of what you're going through. You doubting YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI and his power. You doubting that the Lord is able to save you. Verse 14, "Woe unto you that have lost patience, And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Right, talking about, the guys who took their hand off the plow. Let me grab this precept real quick. It's the book of Luke, chapter 9, and verse 62. And YAHAWASHI said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Right, so those guys who looked back, went back into the world, took their hand off the plow, basically stopped doing this work. How is the Lord going to visit them? With death and destruction. Let's go back to the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus. Back to verse 14, it says, woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Verse 15, that they that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. Right, talking about, those laws, statutes, and commandments. So you're not going to lean on to your own understanding and do whatever you want to do. Verse 16, they that fear the Lord will seek that which is well, which is the laws, statutes, and commandments, and the righteousness of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. Right, so, that's what this thing is all about, humbling yourselves, in the midst of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, because the Lord is not dealing with nobody that is proud. Verse 18, it says, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. Right, so we're going to lean upon YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. And that's it for the book of Sirach. I'm going to grab these other precepts. It's the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 18. And the Lord shall deliver me from every evil work and will preserve me unto his heavenly kingdom, to whom be glory forever and ever. Amen. So the Lord got us, no matter what situation at the end of the day, even in these trials and tribulations, catching hell, etc. At the end of the day, the Lord got us. I'm going to grab one more precept. We're going to close this out. It's the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, and verse 3. Thou, therefore, endure hardness as a good soldier of YAHAWASHI Mashiach. Right, endure hardness as a good soldier. So you got to give our all to this thing. No matter what we going through, no matter what happens, how much hell we catching, you got to endure hardness as a good soldier for YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. But I'm going to end it off with that. Lord willing, you were edified. If you were edified, the hope for elect will be edified. And once again, before we close out, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory, and infinite blessings unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. And once again, I want to give double honors to the apostles and bishops of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.